It's been a long time coming, but we are back again for another edition of Let's Play WCCW 1983. And I just want to put this out there that this series will be coming to a close at the end of May, because it's gotten to the point where I've decided to put this series down. And yes, that basically means that the invasion and WWE 2017 are the only two series remaining, or active series. I just realized I have not ended WCW 2000 yet, but it will be ending very soon. But I also remembered. Well, let me just say this. I initially wanted to record WWE 2017 today. But I looked around and I realized it's been a little bit since I recorded this one, and I want to say WCW, but I don't remember. I think I recorded the Invasion recently, but I don't remember. But either way, it's been a while since I recorded this series, so I wanted to jump back in, give you a few updates, and let you know when it's gonna happen, or when things are gonna change. But that's also the reason why I decided to cancel this series, because I think it's time to put a bow on it and move on to another territory, because that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to move on to another territory other than Texas. And yes, if you follow along with myself and Billy Garcia's monthly territory series, then you'll know that we've been going through a variety of territories, from Jim Crockett Promotions to all of Texas to, I believe, Minneapolis too. But now I'm going to be doing the same thing, but in a different perspective with TEW, because I'm going to be using TEW to go back to the territories and go back to 1983 once again, but with a different company the second time around. So that means that World Class Championship Wrestling will be wrapping up very soon, so enjoy it while you have it, because it's not going to be around forever. But for now, let's jump into this week's episode of WCCW Television. Even though the series is wrapping up soon, we still needed certain feuds needed to get going. And the first feud that I'm getting going, or that's starting up tonight, or one of the feuds that are starting up tonight, I should say, is King Kong Bundy and Chris Adams, because Chris Adams ends his match with Salvatore Bellomo. And Chris Adams is attacked, walking back up the aisleway, by King Kong Bundy. And you ask, well, aren't you anticipating him if he's coming at you? Have you seen Bundy? If you see King Kong Bundy running at you and you anticipate it, it's just gonna lighten the blow just a little bit, because you're not gonna anticipate a 400-pound man running, or 300-pound. I don't know, a big guy running at you. You're not going to be able to protect yourself, you're just going to cushion the blow. But either way, Chris Adams has another feud kicking off, and this feud is with King Kong Bundy for the TV belt. And now we move on as El Hijo del Tejas comes up short against Bob Bradley. Simply put, because I wanted to mix things up, and I'm also, maybe getting a little, I don't want to say a little bit of cold feet, but I'm maybe second guessing the booking that I was going to do with El Hijo del Tejas, and I'm going to slow things down a bit, instead of jumping right into it, or jumping into things. So yeah. But either way, Del Tejas lost to Bob Bradley. Yes, it may be surprising, but like I said, I'm getting a little bit of cold feet. I don't want to say I'm getting cold feet, it's more that I'm second guessing the booking that I had in mind for Del Tejas, and I may take a longer route instead of the shorter route. So there you go. But now we move to Mark Lawrence, who's with Gary Hart and Dick Murdoch, and Gary Hart lays out the challenge to Bruiser Brody for the last week in May for the monthly Star Wars event. It's Gary Hart laying out the challenge one more time. Bruiser Brody, Dick Murdoch, one more time, and during this promo, Gary also runs down the fact that Bruiser has not been able to defeat Dick Murdoch, and tells Bruiser, you want to prove it? Face Dickie one more time, and if you win, then you proved it. And that's why Brody, one more time, in the month of April, 2 weeks from tonight, 2 weeks from yesterday, Brody, Murdoch, one more time, and it's gonna be a gimmick match. And now we move to the next match. If the game actually lets me click. Michael Hayes and Buddy Roberts against Brian Adias and Sean O'Reilly. And Brian Adias and Sean O'Reilly actually have good chemistry together. And this actually pushes the Von Erich Freebird feud. And Michael and Buddy get a win. Sounds good to me. Michael gets his second win in as many days because I did run a house show or a tour event over the weekend, which Michael defended his American Heavyweight title against somebody. I forget who, but either way, Michael defended his title. So Michael gets his second win in as many days, because I think it was on Saturday or Sunday. This actually wasn't supposed to be put like this, but I changed my mind and just decided to, have it where Akbar goes out there and says, there's nobody to fight my client here. My monster here. So now I'm opening the door and letting anybody come walking through. I'm opening the door and asking anybody out there to accept my challenge to face Missing Link for this Brass Knuckles Championship. And of course, as you can tell by the screen, Magnum TA is the one who accepts Akbar's challenge and darts out. And Magnum cuts a promo only like only Magnum can, setting up the match for 2 weeks from tonight, 2 weeks from last night. Magnum TA versus Missing Link for the NWA Brass Knuckles title at April's monthly Star Wars event. But I'm also going to throw this out there that means that next week Magnum TA will step into the ring against Akbar's other client, the Mongol, as a test match, and Magnum's official in-ring debut with World Class Championship Wrestling. And now we move to the main event with Bruiser Brody going up against the Spoiler. Yes, some might say, oh, you shouldn't have used Brody this week, you should have used Brody next week. But instead, I know that, but instead I did this because I'm gonna, basically, instead of having Brody come out there during the promo, I let him have a match, which meant he was focused on the match and not the promo. So he's gonna use next week to answer the promo the week before answering it the week before the pay-per-view. So there we go. And here is this week's episode of World Class Championship Wrestling, with us increasing our popularity in 10 regions. In 10 regions, with a solid 74 show. And a solid show all in all, in my opinion. But I just want to put this out there that I don't want you to think that I got cold feet with the series, or I don't like this series, or I hate World Class Championship Wrestling. I don't. It's just that other things got in the way, other things came up, and things happened to where this stuff had to be put on hold for a little bit. And even though I may, yes, I did say at the beginning of this episode, that this series is coming to a close. It's not definite. It's not definite. Because if the views are still there, I'll keep it going. I have no problem keeping this series going. No problem at all. But it's just the idea, because it is early compared to WCW 2000 and TNA. TNA went 30 episodes. WCW is, I believe, at 26. This is only at about 15 or 16. So, we still have time for this series. But I also realize that the reason why this series is only at 15 or 16 at this point is because of me. And because of my lackadaisical attitude towards posting, due to other things being more important than this. I'm being honest with you. I know there are some phrasings that I shouldn't be saying, or words that I shouldn't be saying when I'm recording, but I'm being honest. Life gets in the way of recording sometimes, and it's nothing serious, nothing sad, nothing bad. It's just that, I had a lot of things going on, and I still have a lot of things going on, but I just have to make more time to sit down, record, and keep consistent with certain series, especially series that have been going on for a while. But either way, let me know down in the comment section below what you think of this series. If you have any opinions on this series as to keeping it going or stopping it, let me know down in the comment section below, because it's always feedback is more than welcomed and appreciated. But if you don't want to leave a comment, you can always leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this that you can only find right here at Wrestling Express. Till next time, later.